In the beginning of the movie, we can see Max Cady gets out of prison after 14 years for assault. At the same time, Lee Bowden and her daughter Danny are talking about the new business they're starting. That night, they go to the movies with Sam, Lee's husband, and Danny's father. During the movie, Max sits in front of them and started making a scene. Sam tried to talk to him but stopped by her wife, and they decided to leave. Outside, the family buys snacks, and when Sam is about to pay, the cashier tells him that the man outside already paid their bill. Sam quickly takes his family away, but Max is already gone. The next day, Sam plays a game with his co-worker Lori. Sam suggests that they should not play with each other for a while, because it's not looking good for both of them since he's already married, which makes Lori a bit disappointed, telling him that they are not doing anything yet. Later, Max approaches Sam, trying to remind him of their past lawyer-client relationship, but Sam pretends not knowing him. Before Max goes, he threatens him that he will experience losing someone, but Sam did not hear it well. At home, he can't take his mind away from what Max told him. So, he suggests that they should take a vacation for a few days. But Lee reminds him that they're too busy to do that. That night, Lee saw someone seating on their fence and tells Sam about it. Sam already knows who it is and went outside, but Max is already gone. Sam explains that Max was a former client who just wanted to mess with them because he's upset that he puts him in jail. At work, Sam confesses he had evidence of Max's violence against a woman that could have acquitted him from the charges, because he saw how the girl was beaten. But he didn't think that Max would know about what he did. The next day, Sam meets Max again and tries to bribe him to avoid trouble, but Max declines. Later, Sam's family dog died, and he suspects that Max poisons their dog. Without any proof, Sam reports him to the authorities, but they let him go. At a parade, Sam caught Max staring at his family and bravely confronts him in front of the crowd. But Max turns the crowd against Sam, and Lee immediately takes him out there. In the next scene, we can see Max talking to Sam's co-worker Lori. Max tried to seduce her by lying that he once protected a woman from the police. Lori, who is easily charmed by Max's words, goes home with him. As they play on the bed, Max handcuffs the poor girl and beat her mercilessly. The next day, Sam found her in a hospital. He tries to convince her to testify to what Max did to her, but Lori is afraid because Max threatened to shame her if she does that. Because of the situation getting worse, a detective suggests that Sam deal with this without the authorities' help. Sam figured that the detective wants him to make his family as bait for Max, so he angrily declines. Sam hires Claude Kursek, a private investigator, to monitor Max's movements. Sam also told Kursek that he was Max's public defender a long time ago after Max hurt a young woman. During their talk, Kursek points out that Sam's daughter is around the same age as Max's victims, which worries Sam. One night, while following Max, Kursek calls Sam and share a story where he found out that Max once killed an inmate who complained about his smoking by breaking his neck and biting off his tongue. He was never punished for it because the officers couldn't prove it. After this call, Sam calls Lori and apologizes to her for getting her involved, but Lee overhears their conversation. Lee confronts Sam about it, accusing him of cheating, thinking Max went after Lori because she is Sam's mistress. Lee hits Sam in anger while their daughter Danny watches, then locks herself in her room crying. Lee reminds Sam this isn't his first betrayal, recalling how they moved for a fresh start, but Sam cheated again. Sam argues that Lori was infatuated with him and admits he's scared of Max, who probably hurt Lori knowing she wouldn't testify to protect her reputation. Max knew this would make Lee suspicious and ruin their marriage. Sam urges them to stick together against Max, but Lee isn't convinced and makes Sam sleep downstairs. Meanwhile, Kursek follows Max to a diner. The waitress gave him food which he did not order and tells him that Max ordered it for him, which implies that he already knows that he's following him. He then follows Max outside and advises him to leave town, but Max threatens him not follow him again or something bad will happen to him. Later, Max stopped by at Sam's house where he saw Lee and give her their dog's collar. As they talk, Lee realized that he's the man sitting on their fence the other night. Suddenly, Danny came out, and when Max saw that Sam has a daughter, he quickly drives away. Meanwhile, Sam meets Kursek, who reports to him what happens between him and Max. Kursek then suggests hiring a hitman to scare Max to solve his problem, but Sam, being a lawyer, refuses to do anything illegal. That night, Max pretends to be Danny's teacher and calls to charm her. Since Max is good with words, he was able to convince her to meet him in school. The next day, Danny meets Max at her drama class, where he's smoking. He compares her situation to a mature book and encourages her to read it. Although he charms her, Danny becomes suspicious. Max then reveals who he is but claims he's innocent. He promises not to hurt her and says they can be honest with each other, unlike with her parents. Manipulating her, Max kisses Danny then leaves. Later, Sam and Lee found out that Danny met Max at school because of the cigarette Lee found on her books. Sam calls Kursek and tells him what happened and asks him to proceed hiring the hitman that will scare Max to leave the town. Sam then meets Max at a diner to warn him that he'll get hurt if he doesn't leave her family alone and ask him to leave town, but Max isn't bothered and reminds him of his suffering when he puts him in jail for 14 years. That night, Sam talks to Danny about what happened between her and Max. Danny confesses that Max didn't force himself on her. Sam's aggressive questioning scares Danny, and she yells at him to leave. In the next scene, the hitmen that Kursek hired attack Max. They almost beat him, but Max overpowers them and beat them while Sam watches. The next day, Max hires a good lawyer to file a restraining order against Sam, and showing Sam's recorded threat to him from their previous encounter at a restaurant. The judge grants Max's request and even considers Sam's disbarment. Worried that Max might retaliate for what happened to him, Sam asks Kursek for a gun. Kursek is more than happy to give him one, but warns him that he should not use it to kill someone but rather to knock someone with it. Kursek also predicts that Max will try to break to Sam's home because Sam will have a business trip for 2 days, and because Max is also an opportunist. Kursek also tells Sam that this will be a good opportunity for them to kill unjustifiably, but he needs to pretend to leave home for the said business trip. The next day, Sam pretends to leave while they know Max is watching them, but sneaks back in the house with his family's help. That night, Kursek sets traps around the house for Max, but nothing happens. The next day, Max left a book in front of Sam's house, and after coming back from school, Danny finds the book. That night, the trap set in the kitchen is triggered, but Kursek discovered it's the housemaid. Kursek proceeds to talk to her about his dad being a cop, but unfortunately, the maid is already dead and it's Max disguised as a maid. Max quickly strangled Kursek with a wire. Kursek was able to get his gun but unfortunately shoot himself. Sam and Lee heard the gunshot and immediately investigate, only to find the dead bodies of the maid and Kursek. Lee confirmed it's Max when she saw him escaping. They quickly get to their car and get as far away as possible from their house. Later, as the heavy rain falls, the family is having a dinner on their houseboat. They are in the middle of Cape Fear where they plan to hide there for a while. Because of the heavy rain, the boat keeps rocking. So, Sam goes outside to check on the anchor. To his surprise, Max is already there and chokes him unconscious. Max then enters the boat, scaring both the girls. Max taunts Danny, telling her that she couldn't escape him, and locks her in a cupboard, then sexually attacks Lee while Sam is watching. Inside the cupboard, Danny gathers things that she can use to defend herself from Max. Meanwhile, Max and Lee are already in the bed where Lee tries to stay calm and reach for Max's gun. Max finds out what she's trying to do, so she handcuffs her, drags Sam inside and gets Danny out of the cupboard. Sam pleads to him to leave her family alone, but this pissed Max and beat him in front of them. Lee begs him to stop what he's doing and tried to convince him that she understands what he's going through. Max is seemed convinced by her pleading and uncuffs her, but tells her that he will enjoy beating Sam more because of it. Before he begins punishing Sam, he lights up a cigar, but Danny sprays him with kerosene from the things she gathered inside the cupboard and sets him on fire. Badly burned Max quickly jumps off the boat into the water. While the family has thought that it's all over, Max grabs the anchor rope to get back on the boat. Max comes back and holds Sam at gunpoint, accusing him of ruining his life by hiding evidence years ago. Sam admits doing it, but says Max's victim's past didn't give Max the right to rape and beat her, that is why he needed to be punished. Furious, Max orders the women to undress as he tries to handcuff Sam, but a huge wave hits the boat, causing the boat to spin and Max lost his balance. The family used this chance to escape. Lee and Danny jump out of the boat, but Max was able to pull Sam back. The two fight for their lives. Max was able to get the gun, but Sam handcuffed him on the railings as the boat crashes into a huge rock. Max survives the crash but is still handcuffed on the boat's railings. Frustrated Sam tried to hit him with a huge rock to end him, but hesitates in the end. He realized that nature will do it for him. Max sings, accepting his fate as he is dragged with the boat under the lake. In the end, Sam reunites with his family and promised each other to never talk about what happened that night ever again. Subscribe for more videos every day, turn on notifications, and leave a like and a comment. Thank you for watching. See you at the next one.